Hello, let me waffle for a moment. This is actually my second attempt at waffling. My first waffle attempt was a la Charlie Heathcote in my car. But the trick with that is that when you're recording, you're focusing on what you're saying and you're not necessarily focusing on the truck that is backing up for approximately 5 minutes of your 8-minute video. Beep, beep, beep. So in this video, yes, there'll be birds, yes, there'll be kids chattering, there'll be various other things, but hopefully there won't be a truck backing up during the video. So but I have been sitting in the car for a lot today. I was at the hospital today getting ECG and some blood test stuff, all in preparation for very minor surgery, which is going to happen on the 20th of this month. I have a abdominal hernia, basically hernia that's coming out of my belly button, and it's gonna be super minor. I'm like in for like an hour or two, but they're doing the abominable abdominals are going to get messed with, so I'm gonna have to have 3 weeks off after that, which means I'm doing a lot of stuff, all the lifting and all the bending and all the I'm cooking a lot and freezing it, doing all this preparation work for 3 weeks of inactivity, where I won't be at work. Luckily, I have tons of sick days, so that will be that is another thing to be super grateful for my situation. But yeah, so I've been rushing around, and probably will be for this weekend, and then my kind of a longish weekend to get everything sorted away so that I can have 3 weeks of not doing stuff, which is going to be, it's going to be weird. It's going to be weird. I am definitely, I'm the guy who does stuff. That's why they keep me around. If you can't be handsome, you can at least be handy. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting 3 weeks. I'm resisting trying to launch on some grand reading project, even though I have the Catholic school in my Kindle, just sitting there. But it's a super long book, and knowing me, I'd get through like 100 pages of it in the 3 weeks and feel horrible at the end. It's like, no, I'm recovering. I will just I'll definitely, hey, I'm going to be on my butt. I'll do some reading, but I'm trying not to be like, oh, I'm going to launch on a grand project. No, you're going to be in recovery mode. It's super minor surgery, but I'm going to be in recovery mode. So we'll do that, and we'll just sort of let that play out as it does with, I don't know what. I will find out. As far as reading goes, I've been reading The White Rose, which is number 3 in the Black Company fantasy military military fantasy novels by Glen Cook, kind of one of the ancient originers of what supposedly is grimdark. It's military dudes who are very kind of matter of fact in their military dudeness. Though in this book, they're actually a part of a cause now. They're not, the Black Company has been a mercenary group, which is basically like whoever pays us, that's what we do. It's the dirty work of war, and it's not pleasant, and it's not pretty, and it's not heroic, but we're just working dudes. But in this one, they have the White Rose, Darling, is their commander, and that gives it an interesting tinge to it. So that has been good. I've been reading out loud The Scarlet Letter by Nataniel Hawthorn, which reads really well, and is one of these books that you think, oh, this is one of these things that gets taught in school, but it's like, oh no, this is actually an adult book in the sense of like adult concerns, in a way that surprised me, and it reads really well. I know some people have a lot of trouble with a kind of a bit more ornate, kind of Baroque style, and kind of the pacing of it. All the stuff that you say, like, you wouldn't give this to a teenager, but of course, they don't, because it's Scarlet Letter and it's Symbolism 101, so that's what we're going to use. or at least they were. Who knows what they use now. I'm also reading The Need for Words by Patsy Rodenburg, who is a vocal coach, kind of big British vocal coach, worked with a lot of big actors, Shakespeare, the Royal Shakespeare Society, Guildhall, a lot of stuff like that. And it's advertised as, and so far with the introduction, it's going to be simple craft exercises to improve your connection to language, to vocal expression, embodied speaking, whatever that means. I guess hopefully I'll figure that out as it goes along, as I do that sort of a week by week chapter is what I'm thinking of doing. What else? I'm listening to Winter's Orbit by Everina Maxwell, which is science fiction, space opera, gay kind of romance. Very much, definitely it's got some interesting politics in it. The ancillary justice comparisons I somewhat rolled my eyes at when it was like, oh, this is ancillary justice meets red, white, and royal blue, which I have not read, but is kind of a romance between two guys. But yeah, the ancillary justice stuff I'm definitely getting from it. There's some good kind of colonizer colony kind of stuff going on there. That kind of, and some real politique empire clashes going on in the book. And also just sort of the relationship between the prince and the count in the book are being done fairly well. I'm not rolling my eyes too much at some of it. Some of the misunderstandings are cultural misunderstandings as much as personality. So that's been cool. That's been cool. There's probably been other reading things. The thing that I've just finished off is Zoe Bede has done this thing of 100 poems in 100 days, which I think kind of may have run out now. And I did that. I wrote 100 poems in 100 days. At least 100 drafts of 100 poems in 100 days, not 100 finished poems. But every day I kind of sat and wrote a poem, and actually to celebrate that, I am going to do Matt Wall's original tag video, the what is your poetry tag? What is your poetry? ? Tag, which is he's the reason why I know about the 100 poems in 100 days, and so I'm gonna try and do that tag, which I've been puzzling over the questions of. It's one of those things of, I don't, like a lot of people, I don't have a deep relation to poetry. I have a glancing relation to poetry, so it's, since I've been kind of immersed in it on a doing it myself. There, we've got the power tools going. It's been a, God damn it. There's always a noise. This is why people have studios. Since I've been immersed in the poetry, and Matt actually was really kind enough to tag me, I'm going to do that. So that has been my waffle day, and apparently you can never, ever escape the noise of the world. Life goes on, regardless of whether you want to record a waffle video or not. So with the soothing sounds of what sounds like a saw, I'll leave you. I've been Jay. More videos later.